Good evening, ma'am. I'm Kirby P. De Los Reyes from the program of Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, Second Year College, Block B. The presenter of Chapter 12, Climate Change and Energy Crisis in Science, Technology, and Society subject. Before I start this presentation, let's watch first the video about climate change.
Right now, we're facing a man-made disaster of global scale. Our greatest threat in thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon. The world's people have spoken. Their message is clear. Time is running out.
The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now is 50% higher than it was in 1900. And not only are we piling in more and more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but we are chopping down the forests of the earth at a great rate. And the forests themselves are the most efficient consumers of carbon dioxide that there are on Earth. We're going to destroy the ground because the soil of a rainforest isn't very good. We are actually tampering with the climate of the Earth and with the very atmosphere that we breathe. When we talk about the disappearance of the ozone layer, we don't know what will happen when the ozone layer goes. The world has become so fragile that we cannot subject the Earth to the tortures we can now inflict upon it. When we talk about the greenhouse effect, we're talking about something that affects the entire Earth. And these problems are life and death problems. They go to the root of the viability of the planet itself. If there's one thing that is biologically certain about the human species is that it is a human species, one species.
If we don't stop the destruction of our natural world, nothing else will matter. Simply put, if we don't protect nature, we can't protect ourselves.
The only way we can solve a problem is by a human solution. Never can we sit back and wait for miracles to save us. Miracles don't happen. Sweat happens. Efforts happens. Thought happens.
Overall structures of this presentation: climate change and energy crisis. The objectives: presentation of content. How has climate change affected the Philippines? The cause and effects of climate change on the society. How the community helps in mitigating the hazards caused by climate change. Understanding of energy crisis. Possible solutions to the energy crisis. The objectives: state what is climate change and energy crisis. Explain how climate change has affected the Philippines. List the causes and effects of climate change on the society. Illustrate how the community helps in mitigating the hazards caused by climate change. Cite the possible solutions to the energy crisis. Adhere the significance of maintaining a healthy environment in the society. Identify the causes of climate change. Assess the various impacts of climate change including economic, geopolitical, biological, meteorological, and applying science, technology, and society concept to the issue of climate change. As we all know, climate change is the global phenomenon of climate transformation characterized by the change in the usual climate of the planet regarding temperature, precipitation, and wind. The Earth's climate is the natural variable on all time scale. However, its long-term state and average temperature are regulated by the balance between incoming and outgoing energy, which determine the Earth's energy balance. Climate is a global phenomenon that already has observable effects on the environment due to excessive greenhouse gas emissions. Change in the temperature, precipitation, sea level, and weather are being noted. Two words define you: the healthy earth and the bad caused by climate change. The equality of our environment affects all of us, no matter where we live. The environment is our home. If it is not healthy, we will not be healthy either. When people abuse the environment, this affects us all. If water is polluted, if the air is full of smoke and chemicals, if food contains poisons, people, plants, and animals get. The Philippines has already been extremely vulnerable to the effect of climate change. Due to its location in the Western Pacific, much of the country is exposed to more frequent and increasingly intense natural disasters. How climate change affects the Philippines? The Philippines experiences 20 tropical typhoons annually and usually is among the countries with the place at risk due to seasonal weather events. This makes climate change a concern for most Filipinos. Evidence is being seen supports that the fact change cannot simply be explained by natural variation. The most recent scientific assessments have confirmed that this warming of the climate change system since the mid-20th century is most likely to be due to human activity. And thus, is due to observation, increase in greenhouse effects gas concentration for human activities. Greenhouse gas emission is the primary cause of climate change. Some gases in the Earth's atmosphere act like greenhouse gases, trapping the sun's heat and preventing it from escaping into space and causing global warming. The causes and effects of climate change on the society. The most source of siltation are the natural causes and human activities. The Earth's climate is influenced and changed the natural causes, like volcanic eruption, ocean currents, the Earth's orbital change, solar variation, and external variability. Volcanic eruptions pump out clouds of dust and ash, which block out some sunlight. Humans are increasingly influenced the climate and the Earth's temperature by burning fossil fuels, cutting down forests, and farming livestock, which adds enormous amounts of greenhouse gases to thus natural influence to the atmosphere. Climate change has the potential to disrupt our environment by impacting a wide range of social, cultural, and natural resources. Climate change, for example, that having impact of human health, infrastructure, transformation, energy, food, and water supplies. How the community helps in mitigating the hazards caused by climate change. The community helps in mitigating climate change is about reducing the release of greenhouse gases emissions that are warming our planets. Mitigating strategies include retrofitting buildings to make them more energy efficient, adopting renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and small hydro, helping cities to develop more sustainable transformation such as bus rapid transit, electric vehicles, and biofuels, and promoting more sustainable use of land and forest. About 1.4 billion people around the world rely on traditional fuels like coal and wood to meet their basic needs. This is not only harming on the environment, it is also lead to premature deaths of million people. By 2035, global energy demand is projected to grow by more than 50% and even faster in developing countries. All of these new customers need clean energy that will not hurt the environment. Understanding of energy crisis and possible solution to the energy crisis. Energy crisis refers to the process of shortage of energy on account of ever-increasing demand in the global market. One of the major causes of energy crisis is the need and demands of ever-growing population for more energy resources. One of the best ways to lower the world's reliance on non-renewable power supplies, oil, coal, and gas. And one of the best sustainable energy solutions is to turn renewable sources like the sun, solar panels, wind, water, and steam. This renewable energy solution is the best because this is no emissions of greenhouse gases. Pollution is minimal, and it's significantly cheaper to use hydropower, biomass energy, wind energy, and the power of sun. Understanding of energy crisis and possible solutions to the energy crisis. In home, reduce unnecessary use of electric power at home. Make the public aware about proper use of electricity at home. Use less electricity consuming appliances. Turn off the switch of the used appliances after the use is over. Use alternative source of energy like solar power, biogas, wind power. Moreover, it is necessary to understand how humans currently consume energy and how that impacts the climate change. Make appropriate decisions to minimize the impact. Global warming is the term you must heard by now, as it is very prevalent in today's world. Moreover, it has become a very dangerous environmental issue which must resolve as possible as soon. If we do not prevent it now, soon we will find it hard to survive on this planet. Every person needs to contribute equally to help prevent global warming. Similarly, we must identify the causes that are contributing to this dangerous phenomenon and work hard to find solutions. Furthermore, we must immediately put a halt to all those activities which are causing global warming. Causes of global warming. There are many activities through which global warming is happening. Mostly, human activities are contributing to this damaging phenomenon. The carbon dioxide levels are increasing in the air, which is causing global warming. Moreover, the increase in greenhouse gases is also contributing to this phenomenon. Furthermore, the usage of hot water for various purposes like bathing, cleaning, and more release gases contribute it. After that, when we make use of ordinary bulbs instead of LED lights, we contribute majorly to global warming. Similarly, the way people leave their electronic device unattended when not in use also plays a big role. Most importantly, deforestation deforestation and cutting plants everywhere just make it worse for our planet. The way we burn wood and fossil fuels only make the condition of global warming worse. Similarly, when we use too much of automobiles,